Everyone wants success. Everyone wants more money, more freedom, more power. But what if I told you that most people who make it actually end up fucking miserable? Now, I know because I have lived it. And the last 12 months have been the absolute worst of my life. I've spent over £500,000 on legal fees. I've lost people who I thought were friends. I've barely slept. And for the first time in my career, I have actually questioned myself and said, what the fuck am I actually doing all this for? Because here's the truth. Most people optimize for the wrong thing, and they actually don't realize it until it's too late. So today, I'm going to give you the wake-up call that I wish I'd had earlier. And if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or someone chasing success, then I guarantee this episode is for you. Let's be real. Most people think success equals happiness. That once you've got the money, the house, the car, the freedom, that everything else just falls into place. Well, let me tell you, 2024 proves to me that that is absolute bollocks. I have spent the last year in legal battles, fighting lawsuits, dealing with lawyers, bleeding time, energy, over 500 grand of money just to defend myself. And the worst part, I wasn't actually even building anything during this time. I wasn't growing. I was just stuck in a cycle of stress, distraction, and exhaustion. I had the money, I had the businesses, I had made it by traditional standards, but inside I was miserable. And that's when I realized that I'd optimized for the wrong thing. And most people listening to this, you're probably doing the same. Have you ever heard the phrase, be careful what you wish for? Well, in business, it's worse because you get exactly what you optimize for. So be careful what you optimize for, because if you optimize for money at all costs, you'll probably get it, but at the expense of your freedom, your relationships, and maybe even your sanity. If you optimize for status, you'll get the recognition, but you'll also get the lawsuits, the fake friends, the constant pressure to maintain an image. And if you optimize for speed, you'll grow fast, but you'll burn out, you'll break systems, and you'll probably make expensive mistakes. And if you optimize for power, you'll get control, but you'll end up distrusting everyone around you. And here is the brutal truth. You can't optimize for everything. Every decision's a trade-off. So if you wake up one day with money, but a business that owns you instead of the other way around, if you're successful on paper, but secretly fucking miserable, it's because you optimized for the wrong thing. And that is a deal with the devil. Have you ever noticed how most business advice comes from people who've never actually built anything, never actually made it? Yeah, me too. And that is why I do one-to-one calls, because I'm here to help you cut through the bollocks and to give you real, no bullshit solutions. Look, I've funded over £750 million to UK businesses, and I've built my own multiple times 7- and 8-figure companies from scratch. And more importantly, I've made every mistake in the book, but I've made them so that you don't have to. If you've got a business problem, let's fix it. Because a 15-minute call with me could be just what you need to break through the barriers that you've been holding you back, or to solve the issues that you've been struggling with for months. Hit the link in the show notes and book a call right now. People think that once you make it, life gets easier. But let me tell you, every time you level up, you don't get less problems, you just get different problems. When you're starting out, your problems are about survival, about finding clients, about paying the bills, about proving yourself. But when you succeed, your problems, they just become more expensive. Lawsuits, taxes, hiring the wrong people, partnerships turning sour. And when you build wealth, when you build status, your problems become about trust. Who's real? Who's using you? Who's looking for a payout? Now, most people chase success without realizing the pressure that comes with it. They see the cars, they see the watches, the lifestyle, but what they don't see is the sleepless nights, the paranoia, the stress. So, before you chase that next level, ask yourself, do you actually want what really comes with it? Because the bigger you play, the bigger the devil that you're going to have to fight. A few weeks ago, I sat down with a guy called James Kemp for my podcast. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's an absolute genius. He makes £5 million a year. But here is the crazy part. He works just 2 mornings a week, literally 2 mornings a week. No big team, no stress, just him, an assistant, and a business built around the life that he actually wants. And you know why? It's because he actually sat down and he asked himself one simple question. What do I actually want? Not what does society tell him he wants, but what does he actually want? Not what Instagram tells him, what he wants. And then he built his business around that, not the other way around. And that conversation hit me like a fucking train, because I realized I've spent years optimizing for money, for power, for deals, but not for happiness and not for freedom. So now I'm asking you, what are you optimizing for? Are you just chasing money for the sake of it? Are you running yourself into the ground because you think you have to? Are you climbing the ladder without even checking if it's leaning against the right wall? Because if you don't stop and course correct now, you're going to wake up at 50, 60, 70 years old, rich, successful, but miserable. But here is the good news. You can change it. The first step you've got to get clear on what success actually means to you. The second step, you've got to build your business around that. And if you don't know how to do that, then let's talk. You've got the lesson. Now it's time to apply it. If you're tired of running in circles, if you want to stop chasing the wrong things and actually build a business that gives you freedom, then let's make a plan. Book a call with me today. No bollocks, no time wasting, just real practical advice on how to build a business that works for you and not the other way around. Because trust me, if you don't control your business, then your business is going to control you. If this episode hit home, then let me know in the comments. What is the one thing that you're optimizing for that might not actually be what you really want? And if you found this valuable, you'll love my conversation with James Kemp. So click the link in the show notes now and check it out.
Every day I'm hustling.